Cairo is bracing for a million-strong demonstration in Tahrir Square, with revolutionary forces calling for the execution of ousted President Hosni Mubarak. Islamists there are expected to use the rally to score points for their presidential candidate, who's up against Mubarak's last prime minister in the runoff. Now, as RT's Tom Barton reports next, the protest mood shows no sign of abating and could see Egypt slide into anarchy.
Revolution renewed. But these protesters never expected to be back in Tahrir Square just a year after they'd ousted their dictatorial president, Hosni Mubarak. He's now serving a life sentence, but after 30 years in power, toppling the system he built is proving to be an even harder task than toppling the man.
Everything is like collapsing from around us economically. So this gave me the impression that probably people will not, rise again. They are already exhausted or too exhausted to go to the square and protest again. But it's really impressive. They went again and they are now protesting.
Dalia has been involved with Egypt's revolution from the beginning. She works to monitor civil and political developments in the country, or lack of them. Many Egyptians are dismayed that little, if anything, has changed under the ruling Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, or SCAF.
In fact, we see that the SCAF is continuing Mubarak's regime and offering only very minimal concessions to the revolution whenever he has to.
These demonstrations erupted after the notorious court decision that not only spared Mubarak's life, but acquitted his sons and 6 former security officials. Protesters say the second insult is the heavily criticised presidential runoff election, a straight choice between the old guard in the form of an ex-Mubarak man and the religiously conservative Muslim Brotherhood.
People did not go to squares and streets again to protest those 2 big punches in the face, more than they think this is their last chance to win back their country.
Others believe more time is needed, even though it may be a bumpy ride.
I don't think Egypt will be politically stable in the next 4 years. We are now in a surgical operations room in which you would see things that are ugly, not really happy things. But I think Egypt would be more stable and successful.
But until then, the revolutionaries plan to fight on, which brings us back to Tahrir.
Protesters here have described their renewed revolution to me rather like a train. They're determined not to have it derailed, either by religious hardliners or by the regime. But they're equally desperate to stop it running out of steam, lest Egypt go off on the wrong track altogether. Tom Barton, RT, Tahrir Square, Cairo.